make our code citable, we can assign it a digital object identifier or DOI. One way to do it is to link a GitHub repository to a Zenodo one. In this video, I'm going through the steps on how to do it. Let's get started. First, we have to log into our Zenodo account. If you don't have an account, you can create one by going to zenodo.org, click on Sign Up, and sign up with GitHub. Here, enter your GitHub credentials and authorize Zenodo to access your repositories. Once in the account, we go to the drop-down menu next to our account name by clicking this triangle here, and then we click on GitHub. In this new page, we can see some instructions, a list of repositories that already have a DOI, in my case, and the other public repositories that I have on GitHub. If you don't see your repositories, click on Sync Now up here. Make sure that the repository you want to make citable is public. Now let's get the DOI with these 3 easy steps. Step 1 and 3 are on Zenodo, while step 2 is on GitHub. First thing, we have to flip the switch to turn on the repository containing the code we want to make citable. In my case, I want a DOI for this repository, so I turn on the corresponding switch by clicking here. In the second step, we have to create a release of our code on GitHub. So we go to our repository on GitHub. We make sure that we have a license in the repository so that other scientists know our sharing conditions. If you want to know more about how to choose a license, you can find the link to my video on licenses in the description below. Then we click on Releases and we create a new release. Now we fill out the fields. For example, version 1.0, release title, literature map, description, code to create a literature map of knee cartilage segmentation algorithms. Once done, we click on Publish Release, and here's the release. Now, back to Zenodo for step 3 to get the badge. First, we click on Sync Now to make sure that our GitHub repository gets synchronized into our Zenodo account. And here it is, repository name and badge. So we click on the badge and we see the code in different programming languages. Using these lines, we can add the badge to our website or to text written in Markdown or restructured text. As an example, I copied the Markdown version as I want to add the badge to the README file back in my GitHub repository. So I go back to GitHub and I edited the README file. I can write something like cite the code, and then I paste the line copied before, commit changes, and here is the badge. When we click on the badge, we get forwarded to the corresponding Zenodo repository. The very last thing we want to do is to have a look at the Zenodo repository and check that everything is okay. There are various ways to go to the Zenodo repository. One way is to click on the repository name and then on the DOI link here. In the repository page, we see the title, which is composed by the GitHub repository name and the title I chose for the release. Then there is the other name, the description I entered when creating the release on GitHub, the files that are part of the repository, and the DOI of the current version. Okay, here I want to improve the title of this repository, so I click on Edit to access the metadata. Here we can see that the Zenodo recognized that the content is software. Then we can see the DOI, the publication date, and here I can improve the title, for example, to Literature Map of Knee Cartilage Segmentation Algorithms. In addition, I wanted to update the license to MIT as it was in the GitHub repository. And finally, save, publish, and we can see the changes to title and license. And that's it. Hope it's useful.